Education is one of the most important aspects of our life, and sometimes schools are among those structures devastated by natural calamities that hit the country.
In fact, Ormoc City was one of the hardest hit when Super Typhoon Yolanda struck the Philippines during the year 2013. This is why a Scandinavian studio teamed up with the local government of Ormoc to create disaster-resilient learning centers in the province.
To tell us more about this, we have with us Cecily Wang, Native Narrative Project Manager, and architect Jacob Gay. Good morning, guys. Welcome to New Day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
Okay, you guys are from Scandinavia, but you've been living in the Philippines for a year and a half to work on this special project. What exactly are you building in Ormoc?
Yeah, so basically we're building these we have been designing these after-school facilities. So it's basically informal spaces where children can be after school and where they can be in weekends and evenings instead of playing along heavily trafficked roads or working for parents and so on. So basically a space where they can be when they're not in school.
What made you guys decide to do a project like this, and why choose Ormoc?
Yeah, so actually this is a really wide collaboration. It's not only us, it's really important for us to say that it was really initiated by the Sherilyn Foundation and also RDI, who is a local NGO in Ormoc, and they have years of experience working in rural areas and around Ormoc. So it was initiated by them, and they asked us if we would like to take up as an architect to design the spaces. So we quit our work that we had in London at that time, and went to Ormoc and started from there.
Tell us about your designs, Jacob.
Yeah, so they are simple sort of reinforced concrete structures with hollow block walls, and we have made them as earthquake resilient as we can. We have lifted them up from the ground to prevent from flooding, and have parapet walls hiding the roof, protecting the roof, and there's always a challenge because with higher security structures we also have higher cost materials, and our aim is to replicate these in as many barangays as we can.
So they have to remain as affordable as possible.
That's right.
And you use local materials as much as possible and recycled material as well, right?
Right. We have used amakan, so bamboo weaving, for one of the ceilings, and this weaving theme is also carried on in woven seat covers, which was made from recycled t-shirts. But all the structural materials are new, so it's only in the interiors that we've been using recycled.
Right. Now, Scandinavian design is known to be sleek and beautiful, but also functional. Is that something we can see reflected in these community centers?
Probably, yeah. We hope
Don't be modest.
I mean, we have tried to keep it as minimalistic and simple as possible, and then giving the attention to the children, who is often like in many colors, and the toys and the books that's there and the surroundings. So really try to keeping it simple and.
But everything that you can see in the centers are elements of buildings that we have seen in the locality. Okay. So we didn't want to introduce something that's completely foreign. It was important for us to do a building which felt like it belonged to the local community.
Okay, so where are you now with all your ongoing projects? Are they pretty much like a wheel that will just keep going?
Hopefully, hopefully, nothing is going like as smooth as we always wanted to be, but I mean the construction is now going on for free more, and the aim is, the target is that they will be finishing next month, but we're working really closely with the city engineering from local government, and they have now the drawings, and we really want to do the open source design where everybody can have access to it.
Have you encountered any stumbling blocks that would make it difficult for you for your projects, or is it pretty much smooth sailing?
I mean, it's difficult. There have been many challenges along the way, right? Also because for us to work, like last year when there was an earthquake in Ormoc, it was the first time we experienced that, where we, with the design, first of all, have been focusing on the typhoon because that was the latest really what hit Ormoc, right? But when the earthquake hit last year, we were really
We
okay.
started focusing on that also.
Yeah.
And how did your structure survive that?
It was intact. It was fine.
So it's good. I mean, once you've mastered all of this, we've mastered the storms, we've mastered the
Yeah.
earthquake, you're going to build an amazing, you know, learning center.
Yeah, and every time we evaluate the project, so we now consulted the local barangay, the captain, and the children, and we asked what we can improve with the center. And it's really our ambition to make a better building each time. So we don't see it as one time as finished, that we reached the perfect solution. We want to update it, and we really talk to people, and we want to find out what we can do better.
Right, to constantly improve it. Now, it's a pretty simple structure, so I imagine it's fairly easy to replicate. Are you planning to do this in other provinces as well?
Yeah, I mean, we really try to now. We were lucky enough last year that Omok City government went in and actually doubled the budget for each of the learning centers, which is amazing. But now tomorrow we're going to Mindoro, and we'll have some meetings about also doing some projects there for the Stairway Foundation. But yeah, so hopefully it will be replicated. That's our aim.
Once again, this is just like it's not a classroom, right? It's just an after-school center where you can have meetings and
Play, reading.
Exactly. We felt it was important for children who are not like producing amazing results in school, that they could have an environment which is more informal, where they don't feel pressure to learn, where they can. And this is not really anything that we invented, but something that we were very lucky enough to have back home ourselves. So we thought that would be very useful.
Exactly, and really also where children are not being measured by teachers, where also less successful students can have a space where they can be.
But it's not all about studying. Also, we have designed it so that the first learning center, it has a stage or an element at the front, which is kind of like a stage. So when there's a barangay fiesta, or when the children has performances, they can use it for that also. So it's not all book learning, it's also
Dancing and that's so important for the Filipino culture
everywhere we
to
go
dance and
more,
perform.
we see people dancing, and we thought this is fantastic. There should be a place in the centers where they can do this also.
So I'm sure you've been in the Philippines for a few years now. You've honed up definitely on your singing skills.
Exactly. Exactly.
Fantastic.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
It was a lovely talk.
Thank you so much. Yeah, pleasure.
Thank you very much. Native Narratives, Cecily Wang, and architect Jacob Gate.
That's right. And more stories for you. This new day, Crazy Rich Asians is still winning in the global box